So once again, for the millionth time, I'm a sucker for found footage, and of late been watching quite a few when I had the time to. And so I collected a bit of a list and saved these movies, and when I had time, I checked them out, and have done quite a bit of a series of found footage films here. Most are pretty weak, some are outright bad, others showed potential, and others I thought, well, it was okay. None of them were all that spectacular, and another attempt at it might have been improved to be a little better. But after a while, they're all very similar, of course. It's very difficult to come to some unique approach to it, especially when they're all dealing, typically, mostly all of them, are dealing with some sort of supernatural element, occasionally a science fiction one, and that sort of thing. Every now and then you do get one that is very reality-based and a psychological terror, and such is the case with the Andy Baker tape. And this is the best of the batch that I've watched so far out of this group that I've done over the past few months now. Once again, it's very basic and simple. Some of the elements doesn't meet the criteria of the camera keeps rolling, and for the most part, yes, it keeps it there. Right off the bat, the setting here is you've got this guy who I guess has a YouTube and TikTok channel, and he's a food blogger, so he goes around and samples the cuisine of different diners and restaurants and that sort of thing, and then gives his assessment of it, his opinion and whatnot. And apparently he's doing very well with this channel, because now the Food Network is looking to offer him a show on their network for him to do what he does with their budget and what have you, all that. So it's the kind of thing that says, oh boy, this is what it's all been about and for. He's on the cusp of some serious success here beyond just managing his own channel and that sort of thing. Meanwhile, a new element has entered his life that he decided to make a part of his channel, and he's come in contact with a long lost half brother that he didn't know about. Seems his dear old dad had an affair at some point, and the age gap between them is not very far. So this happened early on in his life and stuff. So he's like, all right, I'm gonna meet this guy, get to know him, and I'll document that and maybe make it part of the show, what have you. So that's the setup. He goes and he meets this guy, Andy Baker. And right off the bat, there's a couple of things off. I mean, there's just, the guy's a little nervous, a little odd, but it's fine. Seems like he's been a bit isolated and this sort of thing, but it's any kind of instincts for creepiness. Pay attention to those immediately and run away in the opposite direction. So you pretty much know what the thing is here. It's really just the two of them as they travel around, and he makes the attempt to get to know this guy, but as it goes, there's more elements of there's something seriously wrong with him. And Andy apparently holds some jealousy for his half brother, and of course anger at their father, and feeling that he was left behind, abandoned and ignored, as his father stayed with his wife and this kid, his brother now, and stuff like that. Meanwhile, of course, he finds that his brother is this popular, YouTube influencer type guy, and he's got this big success on the horizon and all that, so that just adds to it all. But in the course of the meeting and getting together, he decides, why don't we make it a thing, and I'll take you on the tour of these different restaurants and establishments that I'm going to go critique and whatnot. And so they do that, and so Andy pitches in and whatnot. But of course, he's not prepared for any of this. He's a bit awkward about it and all of that. But nevertheless, maybe he could build on that. Maybe he can make that work. The two brothers are getting to know each other, and they're learning about these restaurants and the food and all that. But things go south as Andy's very weird and crosses the line several times, and eventually the YouTuber Jeff Blake is his name, has had enough, and he says, "That's it, we're done, and I don't want to see you again." And but in the meantime, he submits his latest video and whatnot in this meeting. Well, you don't see the meeting, you see the result as he's documenting this with the Food Network. It wasn't completely a done deal. He had to meet with him and have an audition tape of the show and all that. And this particular footage that he cobbled together for an episode, they really liked the interaction between the two brothers, and they want Andy to be a part of the show. So this is where Jeff messes up, because he wants this deal, you know. So he reaches out, tries to find Andy, and that's where he really goes wrong, and it all goes horribly, horribly south. It's a found footage film, so why is the footage having to be found? What became of Jeff? Well, you'll have to watch the movie, of course. But one of the rare moments of where it has nothing to do with supernatural element. There's been another, the Glendarmer Farms was this weird cult, but there was no supernatural element there. You could have thought maybe something of that would have occurred, that there's some ghost or demon that they worship or something. But no, it wasn't that. They were just really messed up, weird people and committing these murders and whatnot. But this one is a bit more close and has a lot more credibility to it in the performances, and it's just this eerie weirdness of this messed up guy. And the scenario, what's scary about it is that it could happen to anybody. You know, you could meet somebody and you think there's going to be this cool relationship, whether it's a long lost sibling or whatever, or just some new friend or whatever, and then slowly but surely you begin, oh crap, I didn't really catch on. Now I'm seeing the warning signs. I want to be nice, but and then oh no, next thing you know, you're tied up and being beaten and. And so there's a lot of things that Andy does, there's telltale warning signs at first, but then it's full on, oh crap, he's crazy, and this sort of thing. There's certain elements of dark humor in it as well, but very basic and simple in a lot of ways, but that helps it. Trying to do anything more probably would have derailed it. So a very simple horror film here, and so far the Andy Baker tape takes the prize for the films that I've watched lately. Some are really bad, some are okay, some had a lot more potential that wasn't fully exploited, but this one, I just don't think it would change much with it. I think it's pretty much to the point. And within the narrative structure, it said, here's a guy who makes these videos, so it's fine. It looks like some guy who does YouTube videos, that kind of thing. And so it all works out and fits. And I do recommend it. It's not bad. So there you go. The Andy Baker tape. And probably the moral of the story, if your spidey sense is tingling about somebody... better listen to the spidey sense.